We punish ourselves every day through a natural process called regret. Guilt and regret are lower vibrational emotional experiences geared toward helping us survive through negative reinforcement. In this video, we'll talk about overcoming regret, handling past mistakes, and realizing our own true perfection. I'll also be performing a guilt and regret relief activation. So if you'd like more videos like this and activations, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Just like fear is an emotion only about the future, guilt and regret are emotions only about the past. The only way you can label a past decision as a mistake is to look at it from your current position and look back into the past. And when you've made that decision, or when you're making that decision, you can't possibly know that it will be a mistake until you get to that point where you can judge it. Sometimes you might think you're about to make a mistake, or you might make a decision against your better judgment, but you can never know for sure if it will truly be a mistake. So a past decision cannot be labeled as a mistake until you have the perspective of the future result. And where does that perspective come from? A wiser and more evolved being than the one who made the mistake in the first place. This new being has all kinds of information that the past version of you did not. So you should stop beating yourself up for this decision that you made when you didn't have enough information. It's only now that you have the wisdom that you didn't have then. So while this is true, it's also true that this new, wiser version of yourself is actually quite limited. It is limited by its own senses and its own three-dimensional experiences. You cannot see around corners. You can't reach up and touch the sun. You also can't predict the future at all. So why would we take this being seriously? I hate to call you an idiot, but you kind of are. You're just way too limited to know the benefits, the potential benefits of this mistake throughout the rest of your life. Let's picture a fictional event. Let's say that yesterday you said something to upset your best friend, and now your best friend is extremely unhappy with you. She won't return your calls, and she won't even respond to your texts. You feel absolutely terrible that you said this idiotic thing and hurt her feelings. The first thing that you have to ask is, did you do it intentionally? Did you know that it would upset her? Maybe you thought it would be painful, but in the long run it would help, so you decided to do it anyway. Maybe you were experiencing a negative emotional experience and your emotions got away from you. In any event, you did not intend to hurt her this much. I would say that you were using your best judgment at the time, and you were convinced that the thing that you said would not cause this sort of problem. So let's move forward a bit. Let's say a week has gone by, and at this point now, you've started to reconcile with her. She's reached out to you and said that, yeah, the thing you said was kind of a jerky thing, but at the same time, she's maybe learning some lessons from it, and so maybe it wasn't so bad after all. Now let's move even further ahead. Maybe it's been a year. This event might have shaped your life in ways that you could never have imagined. Not only is your relationship with her stronger, but she relies on you to maybe give it to her straight so she can be a better person. Heck, maybe that advice you gave was so good, you've given it to others and helped so many other people. Maybe you've even listened to your own advice and made incredible self-improvement. So was that original thing that you said a mistake? It was a mistake to you a day or two after you did it. But after time passed, you realized that it not only wasn't a mistake, but it may have been one of your best decisions. And so when you look back at past mistakes, you have to decide where in the history of the mistake you currently reside at. And if you can find a way to look at that past mistake and see how it's shaped you and shaped your life in a better way, then you'll be pretty amazed that that mistake isn't actually a mistake at all. And actually, I would go so far as to say that it's impossible to make a mistake. You've never actually made a mistake in your entire life. Everything that you've ever done has been perfect, and it's gotten you to exactly where you are right now. So congratulations, you did it. And moving forward, it's impossible for you to ever make a mistake either. You'll always make all of the right decisions to get you exactly where you're supposed to be. So I give you congratulations in advance on that too. Something else I need to say as well. You are actually a perfect being of light. When you were born as a tiny child, all you wanted was to love and to be loved. All you wanted was to explore this paradise world. Why else would you have come here? It isn't until the experiences that you have in your childhood and throughout your life that changes the way that you look at the world. You move from that perfect being of light, that innocent child who just wants to love and be loved and to explore. And you move into a position of fear and lower vibrational emotions thanks to your upbringing and circumstances. This being, this new being that has been modified by these negative experiences, is often the one that's making the decisions. And so it makes decisions that it regrets because it's been influenced by all of these negative circumstances. However, deep inside you is still that perfect being of light that just wants to love and be loved and explore this paradise planet. That being always wants the best for everyone. It never wants to hurt anyone else. And so you can rest and relax and know that that true being, that perfect being of light, has always been inside you and completely unmodified by the experiences that you've had. So you can tap into that version of yourself anytime you want to. And this version of yourself will always forgive you for past mistakes. And it will always unconditionally love all because they are all perfect and they are all you. Okay, let's try another example. Let's say you broke up with the partner of your dreams and now you live every day regretting that decision. What you're saying here is that you were attached to the idea of what your life could have been. This is you saying that your life is unsatisfactory. This is you saying to the universe, not good enough. Do better, dumbass. This is also you wishing your life away. You can spend your entire life wishing instead of living. But if you were to take a good hard look at this mistake, you'd probably find that the decision to break up with that partner has led you down a completely different route, where you've met maybe better friends, or grown as an individual, or had a fascinating and fulfilling life otherwise. You've maybe lived in different places. You've had different experiences. Just one tiny decision can have so many effects. There's just no way for your limited perspective to ever know if things could have been better or worse if you'd stayed with that partner. It could be that you would have both been miserable, or you have been hit by a bus, or you would have had an unexpected child and decided to divorce, or any number of possibilities. You have to understand that every decision that you make is supported by the universe or your soul contract, that this was the route that you were supposed to take in this life, to have the experiences that you're currently having and that you've been having. And to trust in that is to release and to let go and not try to control the world to make it exactly what you want. You can be a passenger on this journey and allow the flow of the river to move you through this incredible life journey. Again, your limited perspective can't possibly understand what a good decision is. Every decision is a good decision. Every decision has to be allowed to play out. One of the advanced gratefulness practices that I give my students is to find a past event that you either regret or that you look at as a very negative experience in your life. And we have plenty of them when we think back to our childhood, right? To look at those experiences and find the way that it has shaped you, find the way that it has actually made your life better or has made you who you are today. To look at that instead of being miserable about it and to be grateful for it and to count it as one of your great blessings. Every time you do this through a past experience, a past decision, a past mistake, and decide that you're actually grateful for it. It not only helps you with those past experiences, but it helps you moving forward as well. It makes it easier to make decisions knowing that they will be perfect, so you can rest, you can relax, and you can float down the river of your life experience and know that everything will always work out exactly as it's supposed to. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and do the guilt and regret relief activations. So when you're ready, please go ahead and close your eyes. I want you to take a nice big deep breath and relax on your exhale. Feel yourself sinking into the chair that you're sitting in. Feel the temperature of the room on your skin. Feel your breath moving through your nostrils. And like all my activations, this will be quick and easy. We're simply going to remove the negative signature, the negative emotional experience from your guilt and regret feeling or situation. So ideally what you want to do here is I want you to think about a decision that you've made in your past that you feel guilt or regret over. Find that decision and notice how it makes you feel. Notice where you feel it in your body. And if you can't think of one right now, then come back to this video later when you have thought of one and run this again. So how my activations work is I will say breath in. You'll take a nice big deep breath, hold it at the top, and you'll wait for me to say the word awaken, at which point you can exhale. So removing the negative signature of guilt and regret. Breath in. Awaken. Excellent. That's all there is to it. You tune into emotional frequencies based on the criteria of the experience. And all I did there was retune you into still a guilt and regret emotion, but one that is completely less painful or less difficult for you to deal with. And you can use this activation anytime you have a feeling like this. So when you're ready to move forward, knowing that you are perfect and it's impossible to make a mistake, that all of your quote-unquote mistakes always lead you to something better in your life. When you're ready to understand this, to feel this at your core, then you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've got another really cool activation that you can download off of my website that's very similar to this one, but it's targeted toward nervousness. So if you're about to give a talk or ask someone out on a date or ask for a raise and you feel specifically nervous about it, then you can download this video and watch it and feel that relief. I recently had a friend of mine who is going to be interviewed live on a radio show, and she was pretty nervous about it, but she listened to this about 15 minutes before she went on the air, and she was completely relaxed. It's really amazing how powerful and how effective it is. So you can find a link in the description below on how you can download that and use it whenever you need. So thanks again for watching this video, and you can watch these other videos and subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos and lots more activations to come. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.